Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm Sethum and welcome back to another episode of Raid Shadow Legends. So in this episode, as usual, my aim is to work my way through the brutal campaign, and obviously I want to 3-star all of the stuff on hard. So this is where I'm at the moment in the game, still making my way through it, and as you can see, this is what I'm currently using up now. I do want a 6-star Kael, and so this is what I've currently got out. I am going to be 6-starring Kael as we speak now. I'm going to be using what I have to a point where I can 6-star Kael. I mean, all of these champions, I've looked through their stats, and there's nothing I can do with them. I also have duplicates of them, so might as well get on with that. Now, next thing I need to do is, let's have a look here. So the gore mask needs to be brought up, and so we'll do that. Now this has taken a very long time to 6-star Kael, and at one point I did run out of the double XP, so I've got 4 of these right there. Need one more to bring them to a 6-star. Hold on a second, there we go, that's better. Had the wrong character selected, but that's fine. So here we go. Kael is now a 6-star champion. Now he does hit quite hard, so I'm quite happy with him. I'm happy with what I'm sacrificing, so let's go for it. And here we go. There we go. Kael is now a 6-star, so that's brilliant. So what I now need to do is, obviously, I want to level him up, and then going forward, I think I'll be looking at either bringing my other useful champions to a 5-star level 50, and along the way trying to get as many shards as I can, so that's obviously another thing. At the moment I have quite a big stockpile of champions in the vault, so I'll have to go through them and see which I'm going to keep, which I'm not going to keep. Don't have any clan boss keys, and I have already claimed the easy stuff, so that's good enough. There is just a little bit more to go on normal, but that's fine. It's alright, we can do that. See what else I can do here in the arena. I did drop down to tier 3, so I want to go back up, and I am trying to make my way up to silver. That is one of the little missions that I have to do. I'm not necessarily interested in staying at silver at this moment. The champions that I'm using still need a lot of improvement. So obviously my best champion, to be fairly honest, is Kael at this point in time. Also, whilst I'm doing this, I just thought I might as well mention the fact that since the channel has reached 10,000 subscribers, I will be allowed to merchandise or put merchandise on the channel underneath videos. So I will be looking at designing some nice merch for the channel for those interested. Probably will end up a case in where I am my first customer, because I do want to do that. I do want to get some stuff for myself. That's going to be pretty cool, and it is in itself a big achievement. I think that was a big mistake. Actually, no, I might be able to pull it off. It's still not too late. Right, okay. So let's bring Kael back in the game soonish. I can hold off around here, but I need Kael back because he's the one that hits the hardest. Yeah, that's a good call. So, yeah. As I was saying, I'm going to be looking at merch. The main things I'm going to be going for is hoodies, jumpers, mugs, and t-shirts. So I've got in the back of my head several variations, one on a red background and one on a black background. But the problem with that is, because of how complex the Sethum logo is with all the flames and all that, and obviously the brand that does that only has a small variety of colors, to be fairly honest, and they don't really match up. I'm gonna have to use Photoshop to sort of crop out the logo so that there's a clear background on them. Oh dear. Oh well. That sucked. That was a big mistake for me. That was me being too eager. But going back to the logo, I'm gonna have to kind of crop out all of the background, and so that when it's on the t-shirt it looks and fits to the background. So what I mean is, for example, I said black background, but like for example my banner is on a black background, but it certainly appears to be a bit darker than the t-shirt, which is a bit of a problem there because it doesn't look right. It's just that simple. And the same thing with the red. The red I've gone for is a bit more intense than the color of the t-shirt, at least from what I've seen on that website. So obviously the logo is not that difficult to sort out, but the logo, that's going to take a long time. So hopefully I get enough time this week to get through it. I haven't even started it. And I do have a bit of a busy week, but hopefully the merch store will be open soon. Okay, so we want to level up Kael a bit because that's not really helpful. I mean, he can do quite well, but you know, I am also running a bit low on energy, so I do need to make the best of what I got. Just having a drink there. My mouth is a bit dry, but yeah. Okay, so let's see over here. I've got well, this could go either good or bad. Actually, I need some level on him anyways, so I'm gonna have to do it whether I like it or not. So this is the level that I've been farming for the longest of time. It's a pain in the rear end. I cannot wait to get rid of this level and actually go onto brutal. Now the reason I've been farming this is because obviously this is where I have been leveling up my food. And so with that being said and done, this isn't actually the best place to do that. However, there's no point in going any further without having Kael at a level 66 star champion. So now the next order of business is to get his levels up and then hopefully finish the hard campaign with 3 stars all around, get that shard at the end, and hopefully hold on to it until an opportune moment arises. Now I'm also going to be leveling up these other characters. I do want to get Tyrell up because he is going to be useful in many places, and then level up some other champions. I think I picked the wrong champion for what I wanted to level up. There is one that is slightly better that I was looking at, but hey, there goes my energy. So I'm going to have to leave it here for now. I'll go and take a break, and then I'll come back when hopefully my energy has been refilled. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Alright, it's been more or less half a day. I've got my key back. Time to see what the score is with the game, and see if I can use that clan boss key for something. Okay, we've got some mystery shards, so I'll take that as well. That's about it. What else? Is there anything else I can do? Also been working at upgrading the mine, so by my calculations 15 gems a day, that should be a decent... Oh hey, there's my reward. And let's see, is that any good? HP, speed, attack. Yeah, I suppose it's okay. I'm not happy with the 3-star, but I might end up keeping it just in case. You never know. So what's this that I have here? Defense, HP. Obviously defense is what this will come with. I'm not impressed with the HP. I would have liked it to be percentage, so I'm going to sell it. Okay, so I'm going to use my key on the easy clan boss fight and then see how far I can get with Kael at this stage. I do want to hurry that up because I pretty much am going all with magic affinity, and once it goes below 50% he's going to hit harder. So obviously my champions aren't all that great. I still need to level up Apothecary and Maneater. I believe it's Maneater, the healer that I'm using. So they both need to be leveled up. Also off camera I'm probably going to end up looking at their gear and maybe upgrading their gear, and by the end of that I'll probably end up being broke, but hey, that's the way the game works. So let's see how much damage I can put out on this guy. There we go. That's one hit. Okay. Whoop. There we go. There's one hit on me. So Apothecary seems to be getting it quite often. That's fine. We can still heal up. So as it currently stands, I think the main two characters that I'll keep for the clan boss going forward, at least at this stage, will be Apothecary and Kael. I'll be looking at changing things out depending on what I get later on in the game. Hopefully I get some stuff that are decent and worth keeping. I have been saving up shards, so I want to save up some more before I decide to open up shards. So we'll see what we'll get with that. I'm quite curious to see what Kael's damage is at this point in time. Because he's going to be my hardest hitter. So I think the other thing is, it'd be nice if I could get another Kael, if I'm honest. Kael seems to do a ridiculous amount of damage. So with 2 Kaels in this, I could probably do a lot. Okay. I think what I like about Kael is how often he procs that poison. And the fact that there's like 2 poisons at least on the boss at all times, as long as he's up. So that does do a lot of damage. Especially seeing as it's a percentage poison of the boss's maximum HP, which makes a big difference. There we go. Now, I do have another poisoner that doesn't always seem to do... Okay, he's now hitting like a truck. So, let's see how much damage I did on him. Hopefully, something decent. I expected better than that. Mind you, I did auto battle that, so that might not have helped my situation. Oh well. I mean, there's no point in actually doing anything at this point in terms of like not auto battle, fighting it, not doing an auto battle. But hey ho, it works for me just fine. You know, I'm after the chest at the end of the day, or when the boss gets taken down, and I'm happy with that. So okay, well, after playing around for a bit and wasting some time and doing some quests, I managed to get some energy back. So my thought is, I'm on hard. I do want to get through the campaign as much as I can. Now the first order of business is to kind of do the brutal, and by doing the brutal and getting towards the end, hopefully, before I run out of energy, to mostly level up Kael. So he should get an increase in his levels quite decently, and damage output as well. And currently, because of all the rewards and all that stuff, I do also have the double XP on him. So he should level up a lot faster than before, when I was actually trying to grind out food for Kael. That took days. That took a long time. Alright, so this is the combo. No, I'll think decisions. Do I go with Apothecary here? I don't think it makes a difference, but Apothecary does speed up my team. What other options do I have? Not really very many. What should I choose here? I could go with you. I feel like I might need heals if I'm to pull this off without deaths. And maybe Apothecary. See, I have a revive there, and I'll have a group heal from whatever this guy's called. I always forget his name. And then 2 damage doers and a poisoner. So Apothecary heals and speeds up the team. I'm thinking with this guy. Yeah, I'll stick to him. We'll see how this runs. I should have probably leveled up Kael a bit more, but I do want to get to the end of the brutal campaign, and by then hopefully Kael will be of a decent enough level to be able to 3-star the hard campaign. So that's the aim of the game. So this seems to be a decent combo for the moment for the campaign. Now obviously my aim at this point is to get to the final stage of the brutal campaign and then end up farming that, possibly with Elaine and Kael, until I get something that has a powerful AoE on the first attack. So I might try to use Kael solo. It really depends on what damage Kael takes and if he can withstand it. But basically I want to get to the demon stage and farm that. But before I do that, Kael's going to need to get some serious levels on him. And probably before that, I might even look at tweaking his gear to make him dish out more damage. So that is a thing that I'll have to look at. I'm going to be using Kael primarily. I mean, I don't have anything else better than Kael at this point in time, so he's going to be my campaign farmer. Okay, so we're doing quite okay. We don't seem to be struggling, so that's a good sign. He's leveling up nicely. So I was just looking at the little grayed out XP icon. It seems that at some point I did... well, that little XP icon expired. So, well, whatever, you know, it's going to be a bit longer to get Kael up, but hopefully there is something somewhere in a quest or achievement that I can get a XP boost, but we'll have to do it this way. It's just going to be a bit slower. Now obviously the XP boost is, from what I understand, for the champions, not for yourself as a player. So a lot of people and YouTubers don't actually mention that in their guides and tutorials. They do say to level up the champions, but they don't explain why, and I kind of found that out fairly late. But yeah, it's alright. It's alright. At least I'm making some money, so I'm gonna need that. I've got a decent amount of money that should help me level up Kael's gear and maybe swap some bits out to increase his damage output. So we'll have a look at that when I run out of energy, but I'll probably do that off camera. At this point in time, priority is getting this guy up. I do wonder though, once he's up, how efficient he'll be at doing damage, both in the campaign as well as in the dungeons, and why not arena. I do a lot of arena fights, so we'll see how far I can get with that. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Grinner, I believe his name is, at this point in time seems to be a good champion for me in terms of yeah, Grinner. So he seems to be a decent champion in terms of everything that he does. He's got a nice AoE, so he's very usable in the campaign as well as in the arena. And I am actually combining them with the Shaman. Now, both the Shaman for me in the arena and Grinner are both support roles, and then I just use Kael and Elaine for damage. Elaine does more damage than Aethel for me at the moment, just because I haven't really done much with Aethel. So that's more or less my combo in the arena. I'm doing alright, but I am struggling a tad bit simply because I kind of neglected their gear and probably should have scrolled them up a bit more as well, but I'm fine for the time being. I have actually focused a lot on the campaign and particularly leveling up Kael, so I'm glad I got to this point. I never thought I'd see it happen. It took so long. especially for a time when my XP boost ran out. Boy, did I feel the difference. So I think what happened was I ended up getting distracted by all the other wonderful things that I could do, like the clan boss and doing the dungeons, where I should have more or less focused on just getting Kael up to level 60. I mean, I got fairly close. I think I needed about... I think I had one champion that was 5-star, and then at some point through the tournament and events, I managed to get a 5-star chicken. But that just left me with having to get another bunch of 5-star champions, and I didn't have anything. I wasn't even anywhere close, and I think I ran out of the boost. And then I started farming for those 5-star champions. That took a lot of energy and a lot of time. So, and I think right towards the end, I don't remember what I did to get. I think I must have completed a mission or something, and I got a 1-day XP boost. Now that's fine and dandy, but oddly enough, I did use up my energy, so I only had like 110 energy or something like that. So I couldn't really farm that much XP. I mean, I pulled it off. I got it eventually, and as you can see, working on Kael now. But that took about, I'd say, on and off about a week to get all of these champions that I fed to Kael, more or less. Do bear in mind in that, of course, I did also go to work and do other bits and pieces at home, so yeah. Also, at some point this week, I will be working on some more guides for Ark, of course. The new DLC for Ark is just around the corner, so I'm preparing for that. I'm getting hyped up. And while I'm here, might as well talk about Conan Exiles, because one of the things that I have read and seen is that there will be some changes coming to Conan Exiles. Obviously, they will be putting in mounts, but there's also some changes to the thralls. Now, as far as I understand it, thralls will be leveled up after you break them, so that means you have to level them up, and they get points attributed into specific skills and stats. I like that, but what I don't like is the fact that it's going to be random, so I'm not quite sure what that means. You know, I mean, I can kind of guess it's going to be random. It's going to be one of those things where it's a bit of a gamble. I see why they did it. They want the game to be grindy and random, you know, that randomness. I understand it, but also part of me doesn't quite agree with it. I think it would have been nicer if you could attribute points into the stats that you wanted it, depending on what you wanted to use a thrall for. I think that would have been better, but I mean, it is what it is. We'll have to work with it. And I think the one that has me a bit baffled is the thrall limit. Now, I understand for official servers why they did it, although I'm not quite sure how populated the official servers would be, and I think that can be edited on the private servers. I'm not sure how that's going to work out, but the issue with this is, and this is what I see right here. So, you know, when the captain was a big thing in Conan Exile and everybody was getting it, then they made the captain hard to find, or probably took him out of the game. I've not actually seen him since. Now with this, they're making all of the previous thralls kind of undesirable because of how the stats will be attributed and all that stuff. So basically, this also kind of does a thing where it makes all of those thralls that were once tameable but then became untameable pointless in having, because you'll want to get the latest thrall due to how the game specs up the thralls, which may be more beneficial to you than your classic thrall, which is a bit, I don't know. I guess there won't be any more captains lying around, so that's a thing to look at. And then on the other thing, my other beef is with the limit to the thralls. I think it's 50, and then it gets another 5 per clan member or something like that. Now the map on Conan Exiles is absolutely huge, especially if you go it by foot. Obviously there'll be mounts introduced, so we'll see how much that shortens the distance by. But For example, on my server, me and my friend, we have bases scattered throughout the game depending on what we use that region for. You're gonna have to split out 50 thralls amongst those bases. I believe I myself currently have about 2, possibly 3 bases if you count the one where I do all the testing. Obviously one of them is gonna take a beating because I'm gonna demolish it once I'm finished with it, but that's still, you know, if a large clan has multiple bases scattered throughout the map, 50 thralls. We'll see how that works. Well, actually, no, a clan wouldn't have 50 thralls, it'd have more than 50 thralls, but say you make your own clan and then you have multiple bases scattered throughout, 50 is, I don't know. It's not, I don't know. We'll see how that works in the game, but I have my doubts with it, so I mean, I don't think it'll affect me personally because I have my own private server, so I'll probably be able to edit that in the game. And it's never full, it's just a closed group of friends, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, there are changes coming to Conan Exiles. I do have some worries around it. We'll have to adapt to it, and I think it's going to be sad for those that have more than 50 thralls when the changes take effect, because anything over 50 or over the limit, over the cap, depending on how big the tribe is, will be deleted. So yeah, that's, I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't catch anyone off guard with that as well. That's another thing. It'll be quite sad, especially if they put a lot of time and effort in gearing up those thralls to defend the base or whatever purpose they geared up the thralls for. So yeah. Also, by the term of thralls, it's important to note that it refers to followers, so I should have been more specific there. So 50 followers, that's both pets and thralls. It will not affect the thralls that you put in the crafting stations, so that will not be added into the counter. It's anything that follows you, so that's one very important thing to mention here. And so I think there's going to be a lot of things coming into the game, both in Ark and Conan, so we'll see where we go with that. I cannot wait to see the new DLC. Hopefully the new DLC for Ark is good, or as good as a trailer looked. And yeah, I mean, also what I'll be doing at some point this week is I'll be carrying on with those guides for how to tame dinos in Ark. I think I've done roughly about half of them, at least, or somewhere around there. I'm around half of the mark, or the half mark for that, and so I'll be looking at it, and as silly as this sounds, I'm gonna end up having to do the dodo and the jerboas and all those little creatures and stuff. So I mean, those will be very short videos. I mean, there's really not much to say about it, and everybody should be able to know how to tame that. But it is also a series aimed at your newer players, so I guess I have to cover that. If I've started and gone down that route, might as well do all of the creatures. And when I say all the creatures, I do mean everything that can be tamed in Ark. I mean, to be fairly honest, don't get me wrong, playing Raid Shadow Legends for you guys has been a nice break from all the guides. And yes, I've made several guides, and there will be more guides coming for Raid Shadow Legends, but it was a nice break from the grindiness of making guides for things that I know already and most people know already, and probably you'll have their own methods of achieving in the game. But you know, that's what I'm here to do. That's what I like to do on the channel. I do like to try and help players out regardless of how experienced they are with the game. Okay, so let's get my team going here. And yeah, so I mean, that is my aim, and I think as it currently stands, I mean, I will have to look at Atlas as well. That's another game I need to look at. I just haven't brought myself around to playing it. The first time I played it, it wasn't all that great. It felt like a very cheap renamed DLC for Ark, so I wasn't all that impressed with it. And I think the aging mechanic was something I didn't quite like. That's another thing I wasn't too impressed with. But I will probably do Atlas at some point next year. Up to now, I have quite a, up to the end of this year at least, I have quite a busy list of things to do, Ark being one of them, Conan Exiles and all the new stuff that they will be bringing out, that's another thing. And now that I've started with Raid Shadow Legends, which in my opinion is an amazing game, it's definitely worth picking up and playing. You don't necessarily have to spend money on it, but do bear in mind it is grindy. And so this kind of will be the 3 games that I'll focus on primarily. I have actually considered playing Red Dead Redemption on the channel, but probably not. And what was the other one? I think Red Dead Redemption were the ones that I chose, and Atlas. It's been a very long time since I've actually played Atlas. It's going to be interesting to see how the game has evolved when I pick it up. So again, it's going to probably be at some point after the end of 2019, so I'm not quite sure when I intend to do that. It all depends on how busy I get. There is a lot of stuff to do here on the background of this channel, or in the background. It's going to take me a while to get all the merch up, so that's going to be a lot of work, probably a day and a half, maybe 2 if I think about it. So it depends how quickly I can get things done and whatever else happens in real life, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, as you can see guys, I still have a ton more energy to use up, and the leveling up is going quite nicely, or as nice as it can go, bearing in mind the deficit I'm playing at, and that is of course that I don't have Kael, or I don't have double XP basically. So Kael is taking his time leveling up, and I do not like that poison. I think it's poison. I think it's time bomb or something, isn't it? Yeah. Hopefully I can get him down before, there we go, before that thing goes off. Otherwise it's gonna hurt quite badly. So this is what I'm going to be doing for, I don't know, however long I have this energy. I'm going to be just grinding out levels. And yeah. Okay, I am getting bored here. I've run out of patience. I do need a break from this game. So with that being said and done, I'm probably going to end it here. I have managed to get an XP boost. Yay. So that is amazing. That's going to make my life so much easier. I think it's about a 2 or 3 day XP boost. I'm gonna make the best of it, but right now I've been playing this game for a very long time, and that was from one of the not missions, what's the other one, from one of the quests that I did. Yes, that's it. That's from the weekly quests. That's where I got it from. So that's actually quite good for me. I'm gonna make the best use of that, and with that being said and done, that is it for this video. There was a bit of a rant here, and I was talking about all sorts of things. I do hope that you guys have enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them down below. And that is it for this video, folks. I do hope that you have enjoyed it. And if you have, please don't forget to support me on the channel by hitting that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and haven't already for more similar content from myself. And if you have just subscribed, why not check out some of my other videos and guides here on this channel. Who knows, you might just enjoy them. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new videos and content to the channel. Also, for those interested, you can always find me on the Sethtopia Discord. Links to this, of course, you can find down below in the video description, as well as in a pinned comment from myself. Until next time, stay safe, folks.